All right, it's the 26th of June. It's a Thursday. We got about 25, just under 25 minutes to the NY Open. Yeah. Okay. Let's take a quick look at the calendar. So we've got news at 8:30 a.m. EST. It's not an important news event, but it's news nonetheless, right? And it's a red news folder on Forex Factory. So we're going to wait for that news event before we look for any setups. Keep in mind, as I said, been saying this week, this is the last week of the month. We just have 2 days left. Today, a day and a half left, in fact. Today and tomorrow. Next week is the first week of July, right? Because that's the NFP week. That's all. With the NFP week is most of the time considered the first week of the month, unless they push NFP to the second week of the month, right? So usually it's every first Friday of the month, but this time because of the 4th of July is falling on a Friday, NFP is on the 3rd of July, and 4th of July on Friday is obviously a holiday. All right. So what's happening here on the daily? Now on the weekly, sound good? Everything's good? Yeah, on the weekly we're still bearish, right? We're bearish, we're pushing down, prices pushed about 1,000 pips on the weekly time frame. The candle is about 1,000 pips, and majority of the move was because of the announcement, because of the conflict over the weekend, the US getting involved, all of that, blah blah blah. Now we are bearish on the weekly. We've come to this zone here, right? Now on the daily, we said that this zone is a decision level on the high time frame because it's taken out opposing supply. Just a second. There is there was a supply zone here, uh, a rally base and a drop. This push up, this demand zone, this drop base rally took out that high, also took out this high here. Now, price has come deep into it, but still reacted off it and has pushed about 500 pips, right? Has pushed to 3350. Are we going to continue higher, right? Because we have created support here. Could we continue higher? It's very possible. We could continue higher to 3367 and even further, because this, you got to remember, this is a decision level, right? If a high time frame takes out opposing supply or opposing demand, then that becomes a decision level. Okay, so price can push up to 3367. We'll have to wait and see, because when price got to this area, it spent it pushed down to 3,300. You can see that it didn't spend much time, right? One 30-minute candle, second 30-minute candle, then a doji, third one push up. So I always say when price gets to a decision level, you need to watch the first 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours at the most. If you don't get a reaction, then it's very likely price is going to range there. And if it starts to range there for 6 hours, 7, 8 hours, then we're going to break through that zone, right? And that didn't happen here. Price dropped perfectly to 3,300, created 30-minute support, and then pushed up and just continued to 3,350. Now we're coming back. Are we coming back to this area, right? We'll have to check on the lower time frames. Are we coming back? Is there a liquidated candle there or not? All right, let's go to our trading chart. Right, price is pushing down. Yesterday there was nothing. There was a trade here. Yeah, I'd marked these two levels. I said I'd look to place pending orders. I did actually, in fact, take a trade here, but I got out very quickly because soon as prices rejected from the EMAs, then I just got out, right? So I think I took about 50 pips there. 50, probably about 50 pips on this trade. Maybe on this one about 60 pips. That's it. It was a very small trade. It was based off this 30-minute resistance, and there was a 15-minute candle there. I had done all of this during the stream. This is the chart exactly as it were during the stream. It was based off this candle because this candle broke this side, this one broke this side, so based off that, and that was a snipe entry. I placed a pending order there. I explained all of this during the stream. But soon as price came, because price moves, you got to remember the price moves from liquidity to liquidity. So once we push down here, where is the next liquidity level? The EMAs. And then the next liquidity level is the liquidity candle. But soon as price rejects from the EMAs, when this 30-minute candle formed, I closed the trade, right? When we rejected, there was a big wick here. I knew that we're going to break the high. When price started to break the high, I closed everything, right? There was no reason to hold. There was about a 50 pips on that trade. All right. So let's get rid of all of this. Okay, we have plenty of time because we have news today. So don't need to rush it. Perfect tap of the liquidity candle. Look at that. Right to the pip. This is in the London session, form 30-minute resistance, pullback, and we're dropping. I wish these trades happen in the NY session. They just don't. This clean moves down, tap to the pip, the liquidity candle, and 3350, form 30-minute resistance, pullback, perfect time to get in on the trade, and down 100 pips, over 100 pips already. We're coming to 3332. We'll have to see if we're going to close below this to continue down or not. All right. Let's get rid of all of this. Let's get rid of this as well. We've come deep into it. Okay. All right, let's start with demand. We have a drop and a rally here. Okay, let's start with that. Let's go to the 1 hour time frame and look for the zone there. There's nothing on the 1 hour. Let's look at the 30-minute. Yeah, there's a zone. And this is a reaction to this. Right? Make sense? This is a rally, base rally. This is the reaction. And we formed new supply. This is the source of supply. And this is a reaction, the first reaction. And this is new supply. Okay, let's put the numbers there. 428. Close. 468. 131. Okay. We also have a zone here. A rally, 3 basin candles, and a rally, right? We could have a reaction here. Let's take a look at that on the lower time frame. Yeah, rally, 30-minute. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, let's keep it to Let's keep it here like this. This open is 472. This low is 484. Price will need to close below here to continue down. You can just probably, we might even close back up and continue higher, or react off 3332 and push further up again. All right, that's demand. Extend this to the right. It's about 280 pips away. Let's get rid of this liquidity candle for now. Yeah, this could be a pullback to continue higher for news. Very possible. Very possible. Could be a pullback to continue higher. That's very possible. Mm. Okay. Covered about 300. That's good enough. That's good enough. It's not a major news event, so I'm going to push price a lot. It's perfect tap, but I think we're coming higher. I think we're going to, this is a pullback before news to continue higher. That's what it is. I don't think this is a reversal. And yesterday, I'd mentioned this several times that the daily candle will close a doji, and that's exactly what happened. We closed a small body bull candle, almost like a doji, because prices kind of it mirrored what happened here. What happened here, it mirrored here. Now, are we going to have a big move today, up or down, or is it going to close like this? Is it going to be similar to this? We've tapped 3350 here, push down. So are we going to tap and come down? Are we going to close a strong bullish candle so that price heads to this for tomorrow, and maybe we get a reversal, start to see a bit of a pullback here tomorrow? Won't be a reversal, but a pullback. This is not a decision level because this hasn't taken out this low here, so it's not a decision level. If this candle had broken below this low, yes, then we could have anticipated a push down from here. Anyway, yeah, I think this is a liquidity grab to continue higher, very likely. Okay, so those are the zones. Yeah, I will extend this as well, just in case. Get there. Okay, done. Right, let's take a look at these two new demand zones and see if they are high liquidity zones. All right. On the 1 hour, has this taken out anything to, yeah, there is supply here, there's a rally, a base, and a drop here. That's the high. This push up, this candle right here took out that high, so this is a high liquidity zone. Yeah, that's the reason why I also think we're probably going to create some sort of support here and push back up. All right. This zone here has taken out, yeah, this push up has taken out this, yeah, this supply here. This rally base drop right at 3332, pushed up, taken out here. So I'm going to mark that as well. Even though price could go through, I don't think there is any liquidity candle there. Okay. Right. Now, let's look for a liquidity candle in here. See if there is one. On the 1 hour, it would be this large candle right here. Yeah, that's 108 pips. And this one is outside the zone. Yeah, it would be this one. On the 30-minute, this one here. 15-minute. $74. That one right there. That's the candle. Yeah. So push up. Perfect. That's the candle right there. 412677. Okay. And that the weekly SR level runs right through that. Perfect. Okay. Below. Liquidity candle, the largest one is this. It's 171 pip candle. Yeah, let's start with that. $30-minute. Be that. 15-minute. Be this candle. Yeah, that's the candle right here. This is the one. Perfect tap. Yesterday. Push up. 414163. Beautiful. 116. Yeah, that's the one. All right. Okay, we have plenty of time. Price is still dropping. These moves used to happen in the NY session, pre-NY. 2 months ago, these moves were happening in the pre-NY session and NY session. Tap of liquidity, 30-minute resistance form, pullback, the trade to come down to liquidity, right? Perfect push down, over 100 pips. Excellent trade to take. But it's not happening anymore. It's very rare. You have support formed and tradable bull candle close, no pullback, just a breakout. So if you're a breakout trader, great. You can take the trade. It's a breakout trade, but no pullback. No pullbacks in the NY session. Very rare. All right, let's take a look at what price has done in the Asian and London sessions. All right, let's go to the 50-minute time frame. There's the market open here. So market open. Yeah, we opened at 33, 34.7 or 0.5. Right now we were bullish, right? That's what's important. Price tapped the liquidity candle, perfect tap, created 30-minute support, pushed up, right? Straight to 3332 and then kind of ranged, right? So range. So we were bullish. The second half of NY session, during the NY session and the second half of NY session, we were bullish, pulled back to the EMAs and then pushed up back to 3332 and then ranged and then the market opened. And the bullish move continued higher. Yeah, we got to draw the I think this is a pullback to continue higher. Unless price closes below this. If we close below here, if we close below here, 30-minute candle closes below here, then we're pushing down. If it doesn't, then this is a pullback. Okay, I'll say that again. If a 30-minute candle closes below here, below this low, which is 33.20, let's say below 33.25, you need a 30-minute candle to close below 33.25, right? Because that is a support resistance level. So you want a 30-minute candle to close below 33.25 for price to continue down back to 3,300. If it doesn't close below, then this is just a pullback and we're pushing back up deep into here. Easy, about a 300 pip move, pullback and 300 pip move, right? We're coming back to 3350 and then deeper. Yeah, this Asian London hasn't done much. Not a lot of volume. 100, 200. 100 pips in Asian, 200 pips in London. One thirty, 130, 190. Yeah, all right. 327. 027. Yeah, if at all, I'm taking a trade today. I'm possibly looking for buys. We formed a zone here for our demand zone here. We formed a 4-hour demand zone here. Unless we close below this demand zone, 3325, unless that happens, we are creating high highs and high lows. High high, high low, high high, high low, high high, high low, high high, high low. If we break here, then we've changed structure, lower high, then we can look for a pullback and to come down. But if you respect this zone, then we're pushing up again to 3350 and further up here, deep into the liquidity candle. Okay, all right. Still have about 27 minutes, 26 minutes for 26 minutes for news. So we're going to wait. 30-minute candle has just closed bearish, tap this. The next one is just open. This is very likely a liquidity grab to continue higher for news. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. We're going to wait for news. We're going to wait for this 30-minute candle to close. So to see how if it forms support, if it forms support, then we could push up. You can take a buy, but your safe stop loss will always be under the liquidity candle low here, under this, under 3326.5 for price to push back up. This price can come deeper into the liquidity candle and then push up. Okay, let's take a closer look at the 50-minute time frame in the Asian highs and Asian lows. So we were ranging, but we were bullish second half of the first half of NY session, second half of NY session. So we continue the bullish move, push back to the liquidity candle, created the EMAs. That's a cross. Oh wow, it's a cross. That's a perfect move up. Liquidity candle, EMA cross. That's this. Rarely happens. EMA crossover when price pulls back to where the 30 period and 60 period EMA cross each other. Rarely happens. Doesn't happen in the NY session. I've never seen it happen in the NY session, but sometimes happens in the Asian session and the London sessions. Look at that. Perfect cross came exactly this. Exactly this. That is very strong confirmation that price is bullish and going to continue high to the next liquidity level. EMA's cross, pullback, created support, closed above 3332, created the Asian low, pushed up. Why did price stop there? It's a minor time frame resistance level. This one right here, 3343. 3343 is a minor time frame resistance level. That's where the Asian high, that's where this resistance was created as well. Okay, so we pushed up here, created the Asian high, came back to the EMAs, to the liquidity candle, and to 3332 in the London session, formed 30 minutes support. Perfect trade to take in the London session. Wow, I just wish these happen in the NY session. 30-minute support formed. Look at this trade, 30-minute support formed, right? Clear tradable 30-minute bull candle close from 4 liquidity areas, 2 EMAs, liquidity candle, and weekly SR level, right? It can't get more easier than this 30-minute support form. So this candle closed at 9:30 IC market server time. That's when this one opened. If you go to the 15-minute time frame, Yeah, that's how you draw the fib. This was the candle close. This one dipped in, tap the optimal entry, replace your safe stop loss is under there, or more aggressive stop loss under there, about 22 pips, 20 pips, and push up straight to liquidity because price moves from liquidity to liquidity. So the next liquidity level from here is 3350, and above that is the liquidity candle. So that's your trade. 165, 167 pips with a tight stop loss. 60 pips or 20 pips stop loss. We come back there, we come to the sniper entry now. Let's see what happens there. Price could create support here and push back up. So anyway, what was I saying? We tapped here, we pushed back to the Asian high, closed at the Asian high. Then the next candle closed above, broke the high, continued to 3350 liquidity. Came a pip, probably a pip away from the liquidity candle, just one pip maybe. Yeah, one pip away from the liquidity candle. Pushed down, strong move down. Came straight, close below the Asian high, retested the Asian high, came straight back to the liquidity candle and the weekly SR level. And now let's see what price decides to do here. Are we going to create 30-minute support to push back up, or are we going to, the next candle going to break this low and continue down? We'll have to wait and see. Any questions on anything that we've discussed so far? On the analysis, on anything that we've discussed so far? You can post it in the chat. Yeah, we're coming back. We are forming support to go back up. Mm. Yeah, very likely pushing back up. I still think the weekly candle should close bearish. I still think it should close bearish. And the next one may be grab liquidity from 3367 and continue to push down. Too early to say. We still have a day and a half. Next week is NFP. We should have some volume next week. If this candle does about 1,000 pips this week, then the next candle should do, or should be larger, should at least do 1,300, 1,400 pips next week. Yeah, let's take a look at this area. We didn't identify a liquidity candle in here. 1 hour time frame. Yeah, the zone is correct, but we need to identify a liquidity candle in here. Price may not get there today. You never know. 400 pips. It could. It could get there. Start here, 240 pips. On the 1 minute. Eight six zero 860. That's the liquidity candle right there. Yeah, yeah. That's a liquidity candle above this. But price has to get through 3350, the liquidity candle, 3367 to get up here. There's quite a bit price has to do if it is to push up. But the weekly candle is still bearish. So where is that? 3367. 3361. Yeah, we can. Tomorrow we could push up, continue to push up. It's possible. It's possible. I have to wait and see. It's possible. Price could continue to push up. It depends if this zone is going to work to push price up here back to 3367. It's possible. 300 pips, easy. Or if you're going to react here because of these wicks and close back inside. If price closes, if the daily closes below yesterday's open, then we're heading down. We're heading back to 3,300 and we're coming to 3289. If we close below the previous daily open, if we close below here, this support, right on there's a support level right there, 425. Yeah. If we close below here, the daily candle closes here, just below this, it has to push down another 200 pips for that to happen. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. We're very bullish right now. At least coming off 3,300, we're bullish. Was there a liquidity grab? Not much. Not much. Not much. Price has to close. The daily candle has to close below 3314.5 for us to continue down to here tomorrow, 3289. 12 minutes for news. Fifteen-minute support formed. Yeah, I think this is a liquidity grab to push up, to come back up here. This candle closed at 12:30, so this one opened. Yeah, I think we're coming back up. I wouldn't want to take sells up here. If price comes up here, I will not want to take sells up here, because at that point price will be above the EMAs, very bullish. If you come up here, that's 140, 30, 140 pips up, and we've already tapped 3350, so we could be going deep into the liquidity candle. Yeah, I will not be looking to take sells here, even if you come up here to 3350. This is probably a liquidity grab to push up. What we should be doing is looking for buys. Let's wait for 30-minute support to form and look for buys to go up. Yeah. I'm not very keen on taking trades today and tomorrow. It's the last 2 days of the month. Next week should be better. It's better focus. I'm going to probably not take any trades. I'll give out trade ideas, and we can come back and test those later. But I might not trade today, tomorrow. Just the last 2 days of the month. Also because we've not had clean moves in the NY session. At least no pullbacks. There have been moves. Yesterday there was nice 200 pip push up, but no pullback. And I'm not a breakout trader. I can't trade, as price breaks this high. I don't do that. Or price breaks this high. I don't do that, because price can pull back at any time, and then I'm holding 100 pip drawdown before you know it. So yeah, I'm not going to be taking any trades today or tomorrow. I'm just going to, yeah, we'll give out some ideas, trade ideas, but wait for next week. So here, if you form support, we're pushing back up. I've been saying this several times now. We are bullish right now. We're bullish on the daily. We're bullish on the 4-hour. Yeah, we're bullish on the daily and the 4-hour. Daily, we've created support. We've created support at a liquidity level. Created daily support at a liquidity level. At a decision level. We created daily support at decision level. So that's a daily. And the 4-hour, we are creating 4-hour support there, 4-hour support there, 4-hour support there. And we have demand zones here. There is a 4-hour demand here, 4-hour demand here, 4-hour demand here. Right? There's demand there, there, and there. So we're very likely pushing up. Very likely pushing up. This is a liquidity grab for news, for price to push back up. If you're a breakout trader, And then we wait for the candle to close, and then you can take the breakout price to push back up to 3,350 and higher. And your stop loss, safe stop loss is under this, under the liquidity candle, under here, 3326.7. So maybe 3326 or 3326.5. That's where you put your stop loss. But we are pushing up. We came down to grab liquidity to head higher. Let's see. 6 minutes for news. I don't expect big moves in these news events. They're not important news events. If it was CPI or NFP, then it'd be different. Then we could trade the news, but these are not important. This is a nice push down. 179, 180 pips push down. This was the trade, the London session trade. Perfect trade. I explained this early on. Asian session. Yeah, nothing in the Asian. We're bullish, so we can't take sells because we're bullish. We're above the EMAs and prices. You can't take sells here because there's a liquidity candle just 30 pips away. So you can't take sells from there. But buys, 30-minute support formed here. Tradable 30-minute bull candle closed. This candle closed at 5:30 IC market server time. Let's look at that on the 15-minute time frame. Yeah, this was the candle close. So here, this one broke this low. This broke this low. Yeah, from here. Yeah, perfect trade. You can trade this. You can take the Asian trade because if you were here on the streams yesterday, I said it yesterday as well, and I've said it many, many times. When you draw the fib, if you have a weekly SR level or a BRN in between, price is not going to come to the optimal entry, right? Just above the optimal, if you have one of these liquidity levels, just above the optimal entry, it's going to come to that liquidity level. And that's what it does. It comes to the EMA, taps, it comes to the weekly SR level, and then pushes up. That's a perfect trade to take. Asian session and London session as well. Nice trades from this area. And Asia, and in the NY session, we've come back there. We're going to close bullish. 30-minute candle is very likely going to close bullish, and we're going to push further up. We're going to come above these highs. If you want to take a trade, you can wait for the candle to close. Yeah, wait for the candle to close. See if there's going to be maybe a pullback. Let's draw that again. Two 50933. Yeah, we're pushing up. So it was a liquidity grab to continue higher. Yeah, we came back to, see, doesn't come to the optimal entry. Sometimes it does, but most of the time there's a liquidity level in between. Before it gets to optimal, it's going to tap that, and that's what it did even now. Even in the London session, tapped it. Again, tapped it. Push up, straight push up, 93 pips. That was, price was searching for liquidity to head higher. And once we break this, we are pushing up. Once we break this high, we start, the 15-minute candle closes above the Asian high, then we're continuing higher. We're going above the London high, we're coming all the way up here. Yeah, we're going to break it now. In fact, there's a lot of bullish volume. There we go. Yeah, we broke it, right? Did we? High 415, high 48, not yet, but it'll break it now. This candle will break the high. Then we're coming straight up after that. News might push back, pull back a bit, and then we're coming up. It has to break this price to continue higher. Once we break this high, we are trading into this candle range here. This clean space to the left. Then we're coming to 3350. Once we break the London high, then we're heading higher. A minute for news. Let's see what happens with news. So it's not going to be a major move. It'll just very likely break this, a pullback. The next candle will probably pull back a bit, break the high, and continue high. That's it. Yeah, this is news. Probably have a bit of a pullback, and then we break the high and continue. We closed at the Asian high. Closing at a level and closing above a level is the same thing. So we closed at the Asian high, leaving a top wick. If you're taking buys, you can on the pullback stop loss, remember, under the liquidity candle low. So you can wait for price to pull back a bit more, but I don't know if it will though. But that's your safe stop loss. Your aggressive stop loss is under here. That's 60 pips under this. But your safe stop loss is always under the liquidity candle low. That's about 100 pips. And you're anticipating price to push up here, 3350, that's about 125 pips, and then further up about 200 pips. I'm just not trading. I'm just gonna wait this week. I'm gonna be here just for the analysis. Tomorrow's I'll be here, do the analysis, but I'm gonna see this week through because it's the last week of the month. It's yeah, it's better. But that's me personally. There's nothing wrong with taking these trades. They're absolutely good trades to take. This was a fantastic trade to take. I would have taken this trade if, or even this trade or this trade that we discussed, if it happened in the Asian session. My only concern is this is now It happened once, came there twice, third time. Should work, but because we are bullish, should work. Yeah, from 30-minute support, strong bull candle close, pull back. Yeah, we should go up. We should continue higher pretty easily. Yeah, if it comes here, you can take a buy. If it comes to 35, 3335, there you go, take a buy. Take a buy. Stop loss under that is 40 pips, or under the liquidity candle would be about 80, 85 pips. Anticipating price to come up here, 145, and then deeper, 200 pips. Yeah, tapped it perfectly, pushing up. But if it comes down here, you'll need to manage risk. If price comes to 3,330, yeah, you'll have to manage risk. You can manage risk at 3,332 and then 3,330. 3,332. Oh, I'm pushing down. Let's see. Price needs to stay above inside this zone for to continue higher. If you close below, I said this at the beginning, if you close below here, then we're coming all the way down. Then this is a reaction, we're coming down now. But I still believe we're bullish. We should continue to push higher. Yeah, these buys should work. Five eight nine one five eight. I prefer taking trades when it's the first time coming into an area, not even the second time. Like this, when price traded above the liquidity candle, pushback, Asian session, 30-minute support created. That's the trade I'd like to take. This is coming here for the third time, second, third time. Yeah, I'm not a fan of those kind of trades. It can come as many times it needs to into the liquidity candle. That's possible, but Yeah, we tapped it again. 332. It's done that many times. Once, pushed up, twice, pushed up, 3 times, pushed up, 4 times, pushed up, 5th time. Is it going to push back up, or are we just going to go through? Yeah, we're pushing up. We close strong bullish. 5-minute candle closes strong bullish with a wick to fill. Then the next one's going to pull back and continue higher. Let's see. The only thing I don't like about this trade is the fact that this is the 5th time price is coming to this area. 5 times. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5th time. We're going to break the bottom wick here. Possible. Daily candle bottom wick. Push down and then push back up. What's this low? 29.33. Here. Possible break the low. Yeah. Yeah. That's what's happening. Coming down to break the low. We're going to have a candle like this here today. Come down and then push all the way back up. Or we're going to create a bottom wick and then continue higher to get to 3367. Five-minute candle close bearish. Need a strong bull candle close here with a top wick. so that the next candle can continue to push up. But there's still plenty of space. So this is the liquidity candle low. There's plenty of space. Still trying to push back up. Very likely going to go above these highs here. Let's see. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. That's a wick from weekly SR. 5-minute candle also, it's a wick. 33 pip. Yeah. Could be pushing up now. Tap the sniper here. Okay, I'll be back in a few minutes. Pushing down, pushing down. Needs to close below, 30-minute candle needs to close below here. Or a 15-minute candle needs to close below the 4-hour demand zone for us to continue further down. Then we change structure, market structure. As I said, I'm not looking to take any trades today or tomorrow. It's the last 2 days of the month. I haven't seen a lot of clean moves with pullbacks in the NY session, so I'm not going to try to force trades these last 2 sessions of the month. We have to break this low and then pull back to continue down. Yeah, we're pushing down, pushing down. We're pushing down. If this candle closes below the London high, the London low, You should continue to break this low. You should continue to break this low. Possibly going to break it now. Yeah. Was a clean move, in fact. 30-minute resistance. Clean push down. Wow. Broken the liquidity candle low. We should head down now. I want to see where the there's a long time for the 4-hour candle to close. If we form supply here, rally, base, and a drop, then we could pull back, continue down for tomorrow. And if that happens, then the daily candle will close bearish, strong bearish, for next week to push further down to this zone here. Let's see. A long way to go. As I said, I'm not looking to take any trades. Just a day and a half left for the month to end. Tomorrow is the last. This is the last week of the month, but there is a trading day on Monday. Next Monday there is a day left for the month, but that's considered the first week of next month. Yeah, we're coming down. Gonna break this low. We have to close below the zone. Close below the zone to continue down. But it depends if there is volume, because prices already pushed down 175 pips. Don't know, there'll be volume to head down further here. Another 100 pips. Yeah, there we go. We're breaking the low. Yeah, there we go. Broke the low. We're going to drop here. If you drop here, we should have a pullback here. barely tapped the liquidity candle. If we drop here, we should pull back. Yeah, coming down. We're closing below. 30-minute candle is closing below the zone. Should leave a bottom wick for the next candle to trade into. Okay, that'll also be the end of the stream. I'm not going to be here until NYSE open. Um, as I said, I'm not looking to take any trades today or tomorrow. It's the last two sessions of the last two NY sessions of the month. For the week, we're coming to the end of the month. Um, there was a nice clean move down here though, over 200 pips. Anyway, all right. See you guys tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. EST. We'll do our analysis and maybe predict how the weekly candle is going to close, and come back on Monday and see if it closes that way. All right. All right. Take care, guys. See you tomorrow.